All right, looks like we are live. Hey everybody, this is Matt. Peace. It is 2:38 Pacific time on Sunday, September 20th. So I think that makes it 11:38, where U2 was supposed to play Stockholm tonight, and that got postponed. And scary stuff going on. And I didn't catch all of the beginning conversation, all of the beginning tweets, all of the news. But man, it sounded like at the beginning there was talk of, what did they say first? Ticket scanning problems with the venue, and that's why people were outside for a couple hours, I'm exaggerating there. Eventually became a couple hours, but at first it was just 30 minutes or so. We thought people would get let in. That didn't happen. And then it eventually became this thing where they saw security and police walking through the venue, and I saw a video of them like looking under the seats and just all kinds of crazy stuff going on. So very scary. And then they made this announcement that Lucas, I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name correctly, but Lucas Biba posted via Periscope, and I am going to screen share that right now just so we can get going. So we can watch that. There we go. So just for the record, the beginning of this, they're talking in Swedish. This gentleman is, and I think that lasts for like a minute or so, and then he reads the same statement in English. So if you can't understand at the beginning, that's why.
Vi har fattat det beslutet på tillrådan från polisen. Alla biljetter från söndagen den 20 är giltiga på tisdagen den 22. Vi beklagar det här förstås. Det här är oerhört jobbigt för er, framförallt för er. Det är jobbigt för oss alla andra här som jobbar med oss. Vi hoppas på er förståelse. Säkerligen måste komma första gången. So I'm going to take this in English. That news, will that do something on you? The sound show in Stockholm will be rescheduled till Tuesday. Due to security breach, Stockholm Globe was evacuated, and we emptied the entire building except for the door, as the breach has not been resolved. And as sort of safety is paramount, the police advised the Globe, Arena, and Live Nation that they had no other option than to postpone tonight's show. And it will be rescheduled to Tuesday. All tickets. In Deutsche Länder Stockholm. All tickets starting from September are valid to Tuesday, for the 2nd of September. We, the organizer, apologize for the inconvenience caused. We thank you, audience, for letting your understanding. Safety is a priority. And I understand you're upset not to be on.
Guys, I'm leaving to Berlin on Tuesday.
All right, so there's the official announcement. How do I turn? There we go. Turn the screen sharing off, and we're back. And that was the official announcement. And Tasula is on with us, and Aaron Govern is on with us. Can you guys hear me? Okay.
Yep.
Cool, and I can hear you guys okay. So, Tasula, I said, I think you hadn't logged on quite yet, but I said right when I started that I wasn't quite online for the very beginning of this, but you were, because you were going to be doing the at U2 tweeting, and so at first they were saying, well, let me ask you this: did you read what I posted on our homepage, and did I get it correct?
Yes, I mean, I skimmed it. I think you did. But basically what happened was the first reports that were coming in, I logged in around 11 a.m. Pacific, so usually about 20 minutes before the show was supposed to start. I looked for periscopes and mixlers and all that. So when I was doing that, there were already fans commenting that there were seated fans already in the venue and had been there for a while, but GA couldn't get in, or it was vice versa. I can't even remember. No, it was vice versa. Sorry. The people in the seats were outside, and they were having scanning issues. So they thought that something had broken with the little machines that let you in to the venue, and that was the first reports we got. So we thought it was just like an electronic glitch.
And then at some point, I think I started tuning in around the time where I think people were saying, like, security was, they were like looking for a suspect of some sort or something like that.
There was rumored to be a man inside the venue that had issued a specific threat, though they didn't say who the threat was against, and he had a gun and he was impersonating a police officer.
Okay.
So.
Crazy. All right. So.
Scary.
All right, so let me do this screen share real quick, because the Swedish newspaper there, Afton, I don't know how to pronounce it, Aftonbladet,
I think.
Okay, thank you. It looks like they just updated their story. So start screen share. There we go. Present to everyone, and it says safety concerns from Live Nation. Sources tell the newspaper that a man claiming to be a police officer showed a gun at the security check and then was let inside. How crazy is that?
Awesome.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So fans in the seated section were asked to leave. Oh my gosh, so that's just crazy. So I mean, it's, and then the statement that the guy got up on stage, the statement said that the thing that I was playing when you guys joined in, where the guy said, and even the official statement on U2.com, which says that the breach has not been resolved quickly.
Mm-mm.
So, I mean, it just sounds like the whole situation was a mess.
Nightmare. And they got people out of the venue and then let some of them back in and then evacuated again. So that's just got to be crazy for those folks. And it's freezing in Stockholm right now. Many of the fans were tweeting us, letting us know it was 50 degrees in whatever their, measurement is.
Why do we have to be different about all that stuff?
Right?
Aaron, how were you? Were you just paying attention online for all this?
Yeah, I mean, what happened was I was starting to wonder what was happening to the track listing tonight. I just thought to myself, God, it seems late.
I was slacking.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think one of the big problems as well tonight is, irrespective of what's actually happened, I think the big problem has been the curfew that'll be on at the local venue anyhow, because there'll be I don't know where it is, the Globe, I've never been to it, but I imagine it's probably in a built-up area, so they'll have various problems with traffic coming out at night, and there's no way the concert could have finished up, I guess, 2 o'clock in the morning. That would have been a pretty late concert.
The bad thing was that the first reports, when it was still a scanning issue, made it sound like the band were just hanging out backstage and they were going to jump on the instant that all the people got inside the venue. So I think up until, gosh, I would say an hour into it, they were still planning on performing tonight, or else they would have just sent everybody home.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a shame. I think the worst thing as well is for anybody who's travelling a long distance, because I guess if you're in Europe, it's pretty bad if you're going from one country to another, and I guess there's some people who have probably travelled over for the weekend, probably going back, probably tomorrow back to wherever they came from. So there's going to be a huge problem for a lot of people who've travelled, making a nice long weekend out of it. It's a shame.
On the positive side, there's going to be, I mean, it's morbid, but there's going to be some tickets available that weren't available before. So maybe some locals that weren't going to be able to see the show will now get to see the show on Tuesday.
And I saw, didn't I just see on Twitter, some people were already saying if you need tickets for Tuesday or so. There's already been some cool, people on Twitter saying, I can trade seats with you for if you can't stay for Tuesday, but you can make it tomorrow. I'll take your ticket for Tuesday and you can have mine for tomorrow. So that's cool to see.
Yeah, fans taking care of fans. It's nice.
Tim Neufeld just hopped in. Tim, I apologize. I see in the comments here that we started while you were still doing Crystal Ballroom, and so I apologize for that.
Yeah, no problem. I was running out of material anyway.
Okay. Starting to play videos and stuff, so I had to duck out.
Yeah, thanks, Priscilla. Yeah.
Tim, were you online for all this?
Well, yeah, I was hanging out too, and yeah, I suspected there started to be a problem when they were asking people in the seats to go back outside, and I thought that's not sounding right. That sounded like a security issue of some sort. But they were still leaving people in the GA, and I thought, well, that's interesting. But I think it's kind of obvious they were probably moving people out in waves just for crowd control. You can't say to 15,000 people, "Excuse me, would everybody leave? There's a man in the building with a gun," or something like that. You can't do that. So you have to be judicious about the way you handle that, I assume. So, and then I started wondering about who are people who would be potential security kind of targets. Who is there that could actually incite or invite some kind of threat like this too. So I don't know. I was what's that?
Bono?
Well, my mind immediately went to dignitaries because there are quite a number that show up at these kinds of things from time to time. But yeah, as I started talking it through with the folks in the Crystal Ballroom, and by the way, I think everybody came over here. I don't know how many do we have? How do you even tell? I still can't figure this all out. You Google people. You're so much more complex than I am. But,
I see 60.
How many are in the chat right now?
66 is what I see right now. 60.
Okay, well, a bunch of them came over to do a little crystal bomb on you. But yeah, as I was talking it out with people over there, I started thinking, this message that these guys have going is not a low stake. It's a pretty volatile message when we start talking about the refugees in Europe. It's just a highly contentious political kind of theme, far more contentious. People say, I would think maybe this would happen in the United States. This is the kind of thing these gun crazy people in the United States do. Yes, but we tend to not be as polarized around an issue like this as people will be in Europe, because this becomes a Christian-Muslim thing, it becomes a border security thing, it becomes an ISIS thing and a terrorist thing. So it's not unthinkable that somebody would want to do, I was telling the story of Pride in, Tempe, Arizona, when the governor shut down the MLK thing and somebody threatened Bono's life if he was going to sing Pride, told him not to sing Pride, right? In 1987. It's not inconceivable that that kind of thing could go on in this day and age in Europe around the refugee issue too. That's my take on it.
I think in America, though, we're so hypersensitive because of 9/11 that we overreact to begin with, so our security is already automatically tighter. I remember in 2005, which wasn't that long after 9/11, I went to Live 8 to cover U2 and Paul McCartney for At U2, and I wasn't searched at all.
Wow.
Anywhere. So
where was that?
London. Remember? Live 8, July 2nd, 2005.
Yeah.
Big day. Millions of people.
Wow.
And I never got searched. Then again, nothing happened. But until 2 days later, there was a terrorist attack on that bus 2 days later as we were leaving.
You know what might be interesting to some of the people hanging out here and watching is that Disneyland is one of the most secure places on the planet. So I don't know if any of you have ever been to Disneyland. You walk into just the mall space outside, which is called Downtown Disney, and you have to wait in long queues usually, and they search you and they search your bags, and they're not letting anybody in that might. I doubt there's any way a gun could make it into Disneyland, you know, that kind of thing. But yeah, you're right. This is a new day and age, isn't it, Tasula?
So there's just I scrolled down on that Aftenblad article, and it says sources say that police were called to the Globe Arena after organizers let a man armed with a gun inside the venue. Our sources say that the man claimed to be a police officer and stated that he, quote, forgot to leave the gun at work and was then let inside. Confronted with the information, police communication officer Toe Haag says that the organizer was not satisfied with security. They have opened an investigation regarding a firearms violation, and at this time, no suspect has been taken into custody.
If that was a real thing, like let's pretend that this guy's legit, that he's actually a cop, and he really honestly forgot the gun.
No.
Why don't they just take it from him during the show and return it to him after the show? Doesn't that seem logical? No?
There's no way that's the legitimate story. Not for clearing it.
But I'm just saying, why would they let him through, you know, even assuming he's telling the truth? Why on earth would they let him in with it?
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense to me either, that part there.
You know, part of what's going to happen here is the speculation's going to be out of control, and that's why I was just telling the folks, you know, I had 150 just in the chat room on Crystal Ballroom, and I was just saying, listen, let me say this again. I'll you know, as concise as I can. Here's what we know happened, but it's all rumor and speculation. The only thing we know for sure is what we were assuming is there was a security breach, and that's what YouTube.com says. A couple of us have poked around for some other kind of legitimate sources and haven't found anything yet. So I think that's what we just have to go with. It's a security breach. We may never know. And I don't know that they would want us to necessarily know what the exact issue is. I don't know if that's helpful or not.
Yeah, and I agree. I don't think it's in our place to sit here and, you know, get all speculative and all that sort of stuff. And I don't want us to be guilty of fanning flames and all that sort of thing. It's just a scary situation that. Whatever it was, and Tim, our good friend Tim Cunningham, who is a police officer, I believe, or works for the police department in some.
Yes, he's a cop.
Is he a cop? He posted a little bit ago, 12 minutes ago, on Twitter, saying everything I know about event security tells me something serious was happening in Stockholm tonight, and yeah, I mean, if they're, you know, you're getting people out of the arena and going through and searching for things, yeah, that's for sure. So crazy. So they're going to play. So let's not even speculate anymore on what it was. But obviously, well, in our comments, in the comments, official statement from the police from Stir. I apologize. I can't pronounce your name. I'm a terrible Englishman who cannot pronounce your name. But it says official statement from the police only in Swedish, so I'm not going to be able to read that. And you know what? One of the problems is too when I was writing this up is that the online translators are just terrible.
They're terrible. They help somewhat, but they're pretty terrible.
Oh my gosh! You know, you're trying to So I'm like, I don't know what I should say about this. I can't Google translates telling me one thing, and Bing translates me telling me another thing, and I can't figure it out. So anyway.
So I think up until gosh, I would say an hour into it, they were still planning on performing tonight.
I think so.
Send everybody home.
That's part of the thing that.
It's a shame. I think the worst thing as well is for anybody who's traveling.
Tim, are you watching the replay of this somehow?
You're catching up.
What's going on?
Tim, you clicked something and you are now replaying the earlier version of this.
Oh, is that me doing that? Oh, you know what? It finally booted up on the other window that I had open. I'm back live now.
Good.
I was like, why, Matt and Tasula, why are you talking over each other?
By the way, I love the monitor you got with the little graphic and all that. It's very cool.
You like my ballroom?
That's very
See,
cool.
we can do other amazing things, like we can now, let's see, what can we do? There, we can do a map of, I was just talking about immigration and where all the borders are and everything, and why this is such a big issue. So,
You look
you know
like
me, the professor.
you look like a newscaster with the little thing over your shoulder.
Yeah, well, I was even saying, Worldwide Crystal Ballroom headquarters with your latest update.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, that's it exactly.
All right. All right. So they're going to play tomorrow. I mean, we have no reason to think tomorrow's show won't happen, and you can bet security is going to be way, way tighter tomorrow, right?
Well, I hope tomorrow's show will happen. Yeah, but I would say there'd still be a big but. We don't know what's going on.
Because if this person is not caught or something,
It's not a resolved issue. Yeah, I don't see this as being a resolved issue right now.
Well, but they can go in and sweep the venue tonight and have better plans in place
Better
for
security
tomorrow.
tomorrow, yeah. That unresolved, I mean, wasn't that word used in the u2.com bulletin, I think? Unresolved.
In the
That's a big
announcement, the
question
live
mark.
announcement.
Yeah.
and Sherry just put in the comments, Sherry doesn't have camera access right now, so that's why she's just in the comments. She says that there's a statement from Stockholm police saying that they confirm that the operation is in progress.
Yeah, okay.
But they can't say more than that.
Yeah.
So, wow. So, canceled U2 shows in the past. Well, they canceled an entire leg on 360 because of Bono's injury. They canceled one Pop Mart. Was it Pop Mart show? Raleigh?
Yeah, 97, wasn't it? That would have to be Pop Mart.
Yeah.
Yeah, Raleigh, it was 97, yes. Sherry looked it up already. Yep.
Pop Mart in Raleigh was canceled, and then I think I saw somebody on Twitter say that there was a show canceled on the Lovetown tour, but I didn't catch where or when that was. So this is not something that they yeah. Sherry said it's postponed. It's not canceled. That's correct. I got to use the right wording here. It's just been postponed. But yeah, I would so assuming the shows go on tomorrow and the next day, I would assume that that they will be on fire those next couple nights.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're going to be amazing shows. That's for sure. Do you think that some of the people will be afraid to go, though? Do you think there'll be any of that?
Yeah, that's a good question. On that video that I played from Lucas.
The photographer in Stockholm?
Right, yeah. He let it run, quite a while after the official statement was given, and there were I could hear. I mean, there was a bunch of shouting that I couldn't understand, but there was some in English that I could understand, and people were questioning, are we safe in here, and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, I think that's that might be a potential concern.
Did you have something that was helpful to see there? Can you replay it, or was it not a big a deal?
On the video, I mean, it was. Yeah, I mean, I could replay it, but it's a lot of noise and it's hard to make out what's being said. So
yeah, don't worry about it then.
All right. Well, what Tisola, are you doing the tweeting tomorrow or Monday or Tuesday?
No, I'm at work for Monday and Tuesday, so it's going to have to be Sherry, I think.
That's right.
Maybe Sherry can jump in the comments and confirm that she's available. Yeah.
Yeah, Sherry, are you going to be available to do our tweeting tomorrow and or Tuesday? Sherry says that U2 Gigs has posted a YouTube video with the announcement too, which is probably the same thing that I played earlier.
Yeah. They did like two versions, so there was one in English, and I watched that one.
And Simon from U2.sc is here. Simon, if you have a camera on wherever you are, on your phone or computer, I'm going to send you an invite, and we'll see if you can join us. But if you don't, that's okay too. But I'd be great to have Simon just tune in to.
They were helping me a lot online today. There was a lot of great, credible tweets coming from them. So thank you for that.
Yes, and I don't know if I met Simon, but I met one of the U2.se folks in Vancouver, I think.
That rings a bell.
Neat people. Very, very cool people.
Very nice.
All right, Simon, I sent you the invite. I don't know if you can't join us. We can read your comments or something like that, but we'd just love to get a local perspective on what's being said there and what people experienced and all that kind of thing. Yeah, cue Nightline music again. Dun 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 dun.
Oh, here he is.
There's Simon. Simon, can you hear us?
I think that was a nod for yes.
Simon, go ahead and count to 5. We'll see if we can hear you okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Awesome. We can hear you well. So, Simon, were you at the show?
Yes.
So what can you tell us about what the experience was like and where you were and what all happened?
Sure. First of all, I'm sorry if I'm a bit quiet. My family's sleeping. So.
Okay, that's okay.
So when I first heard, what I first heard was there was a couple of one-on-tour volunteers being stuck outside the arena, and apparently there was some trouble with the ticket scanner, and that's what the first news was. Then later, as they were evacuating people and starting searching the seats, it became evident that there was something more going on. And as I entered the arena tonight, there was police inside on the floor, which wasn't the case on Wednesday and Thursday for the first 2 shows. So I had a feeling something was up, but I wasn't quite sure. I thought maybe there was someone having too much alcohol or something, just being unruly.
Simon, how many security people and police and all that sort of stuff did you eventually see? Was there a lot?
Well, I don't think more than usual for the venue stuff. There was a couple of police and security guards on occasion that I hadn't seen on Wednesday and Thursday. But I didn't see too much police officers inside the arena. They were probably outside looking for whoever they were looking for.
Okay. So you had wait a sec. So did you have seats or GA?
I was offered GA as part of the one-on-tour volunteering.
Gotcha.
Thing. So I got offered to go inside the arena after we had finished our shift this evening.
Wow. So was there a lot of confusion then with the fans that were around you? I assume there was.
Yes, I think so, because they first ordered all the people in the seats to leave, and then they emptied the floor, and we had to go up in the seats, and then they took us back down, and then we had to go back up again in the seats so they could search the floor properly, and then they took us back down on the floor and then should cancel. So
wow.
The people in the seats never came back in.
So just the GA. It was that's right. At the end, it was just the GA people down on the floor when they made the announcement.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
It seems weird to me that if it was a gun, which we heard the rumor that it was, and not a bomb, why are they letting people go out? Because whoever has the gun is going to take it out with them. Is that not just common sense? I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I'm personally not quite sure what it was. They said just there was a security breach. Exactly what that was, I'm not sure. and they
Yeah.
didn't tell us anything about the threats officially. So I'm not sure if there actually was something really serious, but I guess so since they postponed the gate now. Otherwise they wouldn't have, I guess. But in general, Sweden is quite strict when it comes to weapon regulations. So I would be surprised if this was the case. That it was a gun zone.
In our comments, says Expressen, is that, I assume that's a paper called Expressen, now says that the threat was against, is that a trusted newspaper? Says that the threat was against Bono.
It's one of our biggest.
Of course it was Bono.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not sure who they were threatening, if there was a person who was threatened, but I heard it was a man among the audience, so probably not the band. So I'm thinking maybe there was some kind of VIP politician or something, but at least I don't think it was concerning the band.
Well, that's what they're saying in the comments though. Expressen now says that the threat was against Bono.
Okay.
So yikes.
Yeah. Okay. Because the news I read in Twitter feeds and online said it was a specific person in the audience, so maybe those initial reports were just plain misleading, and they didn't want to have people freak out.
Did you?
I don't think it's inconceivable that it could have been some kind of small device at play here either, because there were so many reports of moving people around and going through the aisles and looking through jackets and things like that, which sounds like it's very conceivable that they had some kind of intelligence that a small device had been brought in. And now they're looking for it. Not like this isn't some kind of massive big thing, but it certainly is something that could do damage within a small radius. And that's almost more of what I'm hearing from people saying, yeah, they kept moving us up, and then they moved us down, and then they moved us out, and then there were people looking through aisles. That's not like you're looking for somebody at that point. I don't know, though.
Well, we have Matt. Tim is now on the side here. I can see he logged in. If you want to pull him in and ask him a cop question, I'm sure he'd jump in.
Ooh, cop question.
Cop question.
Yeah, Tim's in the chat. Does he have a camera? Invite him.
Yeah.
Tim C is in the chat.
Where is he?
He's right above Simon.
Oh, there he is. Okay, I see him. Sorry about that. All right.
Because he can answer some of these logistical questions that we're just completely speculating on.
Simon, are you planning to go to the show tomorrow?
No, I'm working tomorrow, so I don't have time. I've already taken time off for Wednesday and Thursday this week. So.
But if you weren't working, would you go? Would you be afraid to go, or not afraid at all?
No, I would go.
Good.
I would go. Yeah.
I would too.
Oh, I'm so sorry for you, Simon. Oh.
Yeah, no worries. I already saw them twice this tour, so that's fine. I feel more sorry about all the people that couldn't go now tonight. So. And I also want to say, in general, I think they handled it quite well. People weren't too much panicking on the floor, at least. So, kudos to the Globe Arena for managing that quite well, considering the circumstances.
Yeah, it was impressive. Everybody seemed to stay very calm.
Yeah, mostly. Yeah.
All right. Well, I've sent an invite to Tim. There's Tim.
Hi, guys.
Hey, Tim.
Can you hear me?
Gotcha.
Cool.
We can hear you. Tim, we're talking a lot of police stuff that we have no idea what we're talking about.
Nah, just watch more Law and Order then.
We just pretend to be experts at whatever the question is.
Well, you guys would make great journalists then.
Yeah, that's true. Which is what we are, I guess.
Why did I invite you in?
I take it back.
Serious.
I'm not bitter. Don't worry, guys.
So,
no, have you been listening? So do you know what we're talking about? Like, why would they let people out of the venue and then back in if it wasn't something like a bomb or a device versus a gun?
I have no idea. It could be any of the above. I have no idea what their standard, emergency response plans are out there. I don't even know if the police are armed with guns out there. You know, all of that will contribute or, you know, contribute to the decision-making process at that time. So it's kind of interesting to, you know, let this one play out. I don't know if I necessarily agree if it's a bomb. The general rule of thumb is that if there's a bomb, you get everyone out of the building. You don't just move them from point A to point B. It's entirely possible that this was a directed threat towards one of the members of the band versus sort of like an active shooter situation directed at just random people in the audience. And it could be that someone walked in with a really big cell phone on their hip that someone thought was a gun, so they put it out as someone with a gun, and everyone overreacted. You know, these types of things happen on a regular basis in courthouses and schools and everything else all around the world. And sometimes it shakes out to just be nothing at all, and sometimes it shakes out to be something terrible. So I don't know if we'll ever get the full story. If people are going to keep this, the you know, the U2 machine is going to keep this close to their chest. But I mean, the decision to actually postpone the concert entirely is a decision that's costing thousands of dollars and impacting tens of thousands of people, from the fans to the employees to the roadies to trucking the stuff over to wherever their next gig is. So I do believe there was some significant threat that they felt the need, they had to act and make a drastic decision on. One of the things I'm interested to know is if anyone knows if the band was in the arena at the time or when the band left the arena. The band left the arena before the fans. I'm going to guess it was directed at the band. If the band was still in the arena, then it could be either one of them. Well, so I don't know if someone out there knows if someone was standing by the loading dock for autographs or whatever it might be on the exit, but that might tell you something.
Well, the first thing we heard was that the postponement would be about 1 hour. So there would be like a delay, but the show would still be scheduled to go on after that. But then I don't know whether the band left for us or vice versa. So.
Yeah.
Hey, Simon. As long as you're still here with us, I'm going to play. Sherry shared this link. And I think this is an official police statement about what's going on, and it's in your language, not mine. So let me try and do a screen share here. Sure. There it is. Start screen share. Present to everyone. All right. And so I'm just going to hit play, and everybody needs to be as quiet as you can. So hopefully the audio comes through. And then, Simon, if you can tell us what is being said when it's done, that would be great.
Fransen. Jag vill härmed en gång för alla säga. Jag använder Head and Shoulders.
That was a Head and Shoulders ad.
Yeah.
Awesome.
3 seconds.
Okay.
När bandet U2 anlände till Globen så ska det funnits en polispiket på platsen. Polisen bekräftar dock bara att man har gjort en insats i arenan. Och vi har med oss vår reporter Elisabeth som befinner sig utanför arenan nu. Det är inte mycket folk kvar på platsen kan jag tänka mig, men vad händer annars?
Jag står alltså utanför Globen och för inte speciellt länge sedan så var det packat med fullt med folk här. Det var tusentals fans som stod utanför och väntade på att få komma in. Nu är det inte en enda människa här. Det enda som är kvar är skräp från folk som har stått här och väntat för att få se konserten, men som nu har begett sig härifrån.
Jag kan ju säga att det finns en polisbil bakom dig. Vad kan du säga om den?
Ja, den här polisbilen ska ha stått här ett tag även medan folk stod och väntade på att få komma in. Jag har sett en del polisaktivitet här i byggnaden. Bakom mig så var det en hel del poliser, kanske 10-15 stycken som stod och samtalade Men här ute, utanför, är det ingen polisaktivitet just nu som man kan se.
Kan du berätta lite om varför polisen är på Globen ikväll?
Polisen söker då alltså efter en ung man. Det är lite oklara omständigheter kring den här mannen, men polisen har alltså bedömt att säkerhetsläget inte är tillräckligt högt för att den här konserten ska kunna genomföras.
Man utrymde ju Globen tidigare ikväll. Vad hände? Det ska vara tusentals fans som har stått utanför och köat i flera timmar.
Ja, precis. Det var ju många som kom till Globen väldigt tidigt. Konserten skulle ju börja vid 8:30 och många var här i tid och stod utanför och köade. En hel del personer lyckades faktiskt ta sig in, men väl inne då så bestämdes att folk som skulle komma in skulle bli visiterade, och då ska det enligt en person som jag talade med ha blivit något form av tumult, att folk försökte ta sig in och ville ha sina platser, och det verkar inte gå att hantera situationen speciellt bra. Strax därpå så kom informationen att Globen skulle utrymmas, så alla de här tusentals personerna fick alltså bege sig ut och ställa sig utanför Globen. Det var många som ställde sig för att köa för att försöka komma in och få bra platser igen. Andra stod bara vid sidan om och verkade inte veta vad de skulle göra. Och andra bestämde sig för att gå hem direkt.
Det var ju i 2 timmar som man fick vänta innan beskedet kom att konserten kommer att ställas in ikväll och skjutas fram till den 22 september. Vad har folk sagt nu under kvällen, under den tiden som de har fått stå och vänta så länge?
Jag har upplevt att folk har känt en väldigt stor besvikelse på att det har varit dålig information som har gått ut. När folk har stått här utanför och väntat så har det ropats ut meddelanden i högtalare titt som tätt. Och den här rösten i högtalaren då har sagt att snart ska ni få komma in. Håll er bara lugna. Snart så släpper vi in er igen och konserten kan börja. Men det hände aldrig någonting, och folk fick upp hoppet och sen så stod de kvar och väntade och fick trots allt inte komma in. Och det här ska pågått i 45 minuter utan att de faktiskt fick komma in då. Så det har varit en hel del besvikelse, men även en del ilska riktat både mot arrangörerna och som jag talade med då, publiken hade fått sig dåligt och försökt pressa på alldeles för mycket istället för att ta det lugnt här.
Hur lång skulle du uppskatta att kön har ringlat sig kring Globen, alla de väntande fansen?
Ja, det är ju ända från huvudentrén och långt ut till trapporna upp här. Det är väl 200 meter skulle jag kanske uppskatta att det handlar om.
Du pratade ju tidigare med Expressens musikrecensent Anders Nystedt. Vad hade han upplevt av det här kökaoset?
Ja, han berättade att han faktiskt hade upplevt att en del personer var rädda faktiskt.
Should I keep letting it play, or are they saying anything interesting at this point?
Oh, they're just talking about one of their own reporters, what he's thinking about that.
Okay, then I'll
So just as a quick recap, they said that they were looking for a young man. They weren't sure who he is, and then they decided that the security in the arena isn't high enough to allow the show to go on. And I guess that's something related to the security breach that they announced later. And then they just went on to say that the evacuation took a bit of time, and it also took a while before the final announcement came that the show was postponed. And they just discussed briefly about people being annoyed about not having enough information and correct information.
Simon, if I can ask really quick, did they have metal detectors at the doors? Do they routinely have metal detectors at shows there?
They did not have that at the Globe Arena. Not today, not the last couple of shows either.
Okay.
I wasn't even searched myself on Wednesday, but I was on Thursday, and again not tonight. But I guess that's because I was with the one campaign tonight, so maybe they trusted them to let me inside.
Okay. Thank you.
Sure.
Hey, there's a link, Matt, over in the column now from Jeff. Posted a U2 start link. It's the same information basically, but I'm trying to determine if it's a different source. No, yeah. NOJES. What is that, Simon? NOJES is different news source. It's red, and it's from Jeff Wilson posted it.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now.
But it basically says the same thing, that they have a source that says somebody posing as a officer with a gun. There's another video there. It looks different than the one that you just showed. I don't know if Simon wants to take a look at that.
I mean, I want to throw out a little bit of caution here, if I can. In these, first hours, there's so much crap that's going to be flying around that I heard this and you heard this.
Yeah.
And tomorrow we're all going to wake up and it's going to be something completely different. So I caution everyone, the source could be the guy who was cleaning the bathroom at the time. That doesn't mean it's credible. Doesn't mean it's not credible either. It's just something that we need to, take everything with a very big grain of salt. Let this shake out. Let an investigation happen. If it's that big of a deal, or it is appearing to be that big of a deal that Live Nation and U2 and the police and everyone else is getting involved in it, there's going to have to be some sort of disclosure after that all comes out. But for right now, you obviously need to remember that. I mean, I've been involved in incidents where the media is posting something within minutes of it happening that are completely different than what's actually happening. So please, please, please just be cautioned about that. Not knocking the journalists in the room, just saying.
Well, that's the way we approach stuff, right, Matt? I mean, we're erring on the side of being late on a story than being first on a story, I think, usually.
We can thank social media for that, but yeah, it's fair.
To Tim Cunningham, to answer your question, over in the comments, Emmett Murphy was at the show, and he says that they did body searches at the entrance, but half-heartedly.
Yeah, usually they're just looking for people bringing in a pint of rum or something like that. So that's what those searches are usually for. I most of the 18 shows I saw in North America, I would say half of them roughly probably did metal detectors. I was surprised the shows that didn't. I know the 5 here in Chicago they did. I also know that here in Chicago, even if you are an off-duty officer, you're not allowed to bring your firearm into a facility, be it a basketball game, a hockey game, or a U2 concert. So that if they let off-duty people carry there in Stockholm, I don't know one way or the other, but I can't answer that based on the rumor that someone's claiming to be an off-duty walking in with a gun.
All right. Well, I think we should probably wrap things up. Since there's not much more known at this point, we could just chat and chat and chat like CNN does for hours on end.
Journalists.
Yeah. We don't have any advertisers to keep happy, so so we can wrap it up whenever we want. It's not, we're not beholden to the advertisers. So
in our defense, we have a pretty good versatile group though here. We have someone that was in the building, we have someone that's a cop, we have someone that was reporting on it as it happened. I mean, I think we're doing the best we can.
We are doing the best we can, that's for sure. Hey, Simon, thank you for hopping on, and sorry that you missed the show tonight, and sorry that you're not going to be able to be there tomorrow, but it's been a pleasure chatting with you and meeting you and the other crew from U2.se. It's been real fun.
Thanks.
Okay, I hope you get a good night's sleep and relax. And Tim, and Tasula, anything else that we need to cover?
I'll get you a new shirt, Matt.
You don't like my NYPD?
No, I have one just like it, but I'll get you another one. I'll get you one from Chicago.
All right. I'll wear it if you do. All right, well, we're going to wrap up. Thank you all for tuning in, and we will do this again soon, hopefully in much, much better circumstances, right?
Right. Sounds good.
All right. See you guys.
All right.
Take care.
Take care.
Everybody.
Bye.